We've all struggled to fall asleep, but when it comes down to it, you just gotta count those sheep and evade those nightmares in Sheepy Time.
Hello and welcome to Tantrum House Studio Awesome. I'm Katie.
And I'm Ryan. In this video, we will be talking about Sheepy Time by AEG. Sheepy Time is a 1 to 4 player family weight push your luck game of catching some Z's.
In Sheepy Time, each player is a dream sheep trying to help your person get some sleep without getting woken up by a nightmare.
At the beginning of the game, a nightmare is chosen and its special cards are shuffled into the draw deck.
On your turn, you will be moving your sheep around the board using cards. Each card will give you an option for movement and or an action.
The idea is to jump the fence as many times as possible before the nightmare scares you or has jumped the fence as well. Each fence jumped earns that sheep 5 winks and moves the head towards its pillow.
Each player can decide if they want to continue to play around or call it quits so as to avoid the nightmare.
At the end of each round, the sheep that helped their person get the most winks gets to move their pillow goal the most towards their person. In a 4-player game, that is 10 spaces. The second player gets 8 spaces, and so on. The catch is that players who get woken up by the nightmare only ever qualify for 3 spaces, even if they jump the fence more times than everyone else.
In between rounds, each player gets a chance to change up the board by adding dreams that can be used for some powerful actions. Players can choose to opt out of this and take some Z tokens instead.
Z tokens are used to activate the dreams when you land on them, but the trick is you must have already placed tokens on the dream in order to use it.
The game ends when a sheep has gotten its person's head to reach its pillow. So this game is cute. It's a very cute family weight game. I will say that maybe some of the nightmares are maybe a little scarier in their illustrations, but overall everything else is pretty cute. It is one of those things where nightmares are going to move and then scare, and each nightmare has its own style of movement and scaring. So between the 3 different nightmares, you're going to have a different playing experience and a little bit different tactics as you are thinking about the push your luck aspect of this game. So those nightmares are going to be scaring people when they're drawn out of the deck. So when a card is drawn, then you immediately will resolve its actions and whatever it does, sometimes scaring the sheep.
Yeah, it's definitely a push your luck game because you can only leave the board after a fence crossing and only just then. If you take another turn, you can't then leave the board, and depending on what the nightmare is doing, it can have some dire repercussions. I know with my own personal experience, we played and the nightmare kind of scared everybody, so they weren't brave anymore. So I thought, oh, well, they're gonna get scared really quickly here because it happened so early. I didn't lose my bravery, so I'll be able to push my luck further, and it cost me. And because I didn't leave because I was still brave, I ended up not getting across the fence in time before the nightmare did, and I only got those 3 winks, and there was just no catching up from that because I was so far behind.
Well, if anybody else had messed up at all, he would have been able to come back from that.
Yeah.
But
I needed like 2 more cards to go without the nightmare, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, so it is one of those things. The nightmare scares you. You lay your token on your little sheep token on its side, and then it's the second time you get scared by the nightmare that you are woken up from it. I will say it bothers me a little bit in a game when it makes a difference if your token is standing up or if it's on the side, because some people just aren't careful with the way they move their tokens around. Maybe that's me, but having to deal with that, and if you bump the table, so that that bothers me a little bit, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal in this game because they're pretty stable, the tokens themselves.
Yeah.
Just a side note.
When you're interacting with those dreams, those can be a big game changer because some of them let you get your bravery back, or they let you move additional spaces or get additional winks. And when you're placing your Z tokens on them, usually you get them back, but some things let you put down your Z token on its infinite side, and then you can just keep using that dream as long as you have that token there, which is infinitely.
Yes, so you don't have to be constantly putting and pulling those Z tokens back. Overall, though, I think this game is like very simplistic. It is a family weight game, and I think more seasoned gamers are going to find this game a little simplistic, honestly.
Yeah, and another critique that we had was we found the rulebook layout might have been a little difficult to understand. I think it could probably be improved. There was some rules that we thought we had read, and then we couldn't find them in the locations where we expected to find them. And that might have just been on us, but the rulebook still could have guided us a little bit better. Just saying.
Yeah. Overall, though, it's got really whimsical art. It's got really cute, well thought out components. But it, like I said, is a little bit simplistic. It says it's ages 10 plus, and I think that's 10 plus if you're going to be competitive. But I think children much younger could play this game as long as they could read. But even the reading components it's not that heavy on reading components, but it would definitely be helpful. There is a solo mode in this game, which you can check out. You'll just be moving around the board and trying to beat a score that's in the book. It'll give you different scores, like based on how many times you're able to cross the fence before the nightmares catch you and that type of thing. And I think that this game probably is the best playing with other people, but I do think because of the pandemic in 2020 that having the solo modes available is a good thing. I would love for everybody to be able to game with other gamers and play these games together, but we know sometimes it's just not possible. So I think it is important that games are starting to include more of the solo modes.
Yeah, the theme for this game, it works, but it's not my favorite. However, I would say that we did enjoy the game.
Yeah, so, we did.
Yeah, if this sounds interesting to you, check out Sheepy Time from AEG, and be sure to stay tuned to our channel for more board game reviews like this one.
Sweet little sheepy sheep. Sheepy sheep. Sweepy sheep. Sweepy. What is this called?
Sheepy Time.
Sheepy Time. Get to sleep, catch some winks, do some stuff.
Sheepy Time.
Sheepy Time.